following show is for comedy only and is purely for the sake of entertainment. The stories, characters, and people affiliated with this show talk about hypothetical situations for laughs. Listener discretion advised.
San Quentin, what good do you think you do? Do you think I'll be different when you're through? You bend my heart and mind and you warp my soul. Your stone walls turn my blood a little cold. San Quentin, may you rot and burn in hell.
I have to make a note before we get into the episode that was recorded a couple weeks ago. It's a bonus episode that I'm releasing. I do have a small correction to make. I talked about an inmate that was molested in my facility, a couple inmates that were molested in my facility for being gay, and I mentioned that it was a FUM, a function unit manager. It was actually a caseworker, and I've mentioned it in the past episodes. If you've listened from the beginning, I talked about it very, very early on with one of my original co-hosts, but it was actually a caseworker, not a FUM. I know that it might not matter to a lot of you out there, but it does matter to some people because I do still have maybe a couple COs listening to this show. So, hope you enjoy. Let's get into it. All right, welcome back to the Flintlock Faction. This is a special bonus episode. I'm actually talking to some current in the system inmates or offenders. I don't really remember what the correct nomenclature is or the correct name to call you guys, but we're here with some inmates. They're going to, this whole episode is dedicated to what it's like in the system, what it's like in a facility. So who am I talking to right now?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
You're talking to Johnny right now.
All right. So Johnny, so tell us what some of the fucked up things that COs do.
Before I start speaking, I'm gonna let y'all know, whoever listening, we ain't looking for no sympathy or nothing like that. We're just trying to get what's right, what's wrong, right.
Right.
With that said, I ain't lying on nobody. Okay. So with that said, let me try to walk in here. Everything is extremely hitting. I can't stress extremely enough. Extremely more expensive. Price super inflated. Come with those, they exploit them needs and wants.
Yeah.
Granted, a lot of them are wants, but a lot of them are needs, especially this day and age in here. You have COs that sell masks. We can't get masks. I mean, they only bring us masks like since March. Been given three masks, and just got one recently, maybe a month ago.
You said one per month?
That's it.
And they're requiring
no, it's not actually one per month. We actually, yeah.
They're requiring you guys to wear
every
it.
So days. Say they are, but they don't. If you could get a picture of what's going on here, I see about 4 guys out of about 6 looking at with an actual mask on. Okay. These officers, they don't care. They come through with their mask off sometimes. But as far as corruption, these officers, they write us up for no good reason. Like you've probably seen in the news where we've been complaining about conditions and whatnot. Well, guess what? All that's still going on. Nothing's changed with the COVID crisis cause. All that y'all going on with dealing with out there, we got the same problems. We in a room trying to social distance with 100 other guys.
Right.
Put it in perspective of us. But now they extort us on everything, like a phone call. One phone call. At one time, I was calling home. It would cost me $25. One call for 15 minutes, $25, and I paid that yearly. I'm dead serious. This is a fact. I'm pretty sure it's picked. I paid that for years. I've seen guys, parents, family members actually almost go into the poorhouse, not just trying to support them, but just trying to keep some type of connection going on the telephone. Like I say, $25 calls one way. One call, $25. Add in trying to keep up with your kids. They exploit us. They know that we need to talk. They know that our families, some of us have family members that want to talk, that want to, keep that connection going, and they exploit that. Again, I say a $25 phone bill. Not a phone bill, a phone tab, one call Who listening to me can make any phone call that would cost them $25 anywhere on the planet? Okay. I commissary, I canteen. Let me show you something. They have work, they have jobs in here that certain inmates can work, like say sewing clothes, washing other officers' cars, whatnot, detailing their cars, working on their car motors. That's basically what it is. But it the jobs do pay. They start you off at like 17 cents an hour. Okay, giving it perspective, but let me give you the real perspective. Prison. One bar of dial soap on commissary will cost you $2.50. So basically, I would have to work how many hours just be able to afford a bar of soap? But they do this every day. This is legal in here. They do this every day. One bowl that I know for a fact that I've priced out there, you get 3 for $1. They charge 3 for 1.
Damn.
They charge 3 for 1. You can go in there, not being funny, but you can go in Dollar Tree right now. I know this for a fact, and pull up the same bowl, and it's 3 for $1, if not 5. That same $2.50 bar of plain old Jane dial soap. You can go to Walmart, and you can get it 6 for 6, at least 5 for what I pay for 1. Again, I paid $2.50 for 1 bar of dial soap, and everybody in here doesn't work. Working is street. Out our population of 40,000, you may have 200 that actually work and get paid.
Really?
Everybody else is street. Yes. Everything else is common labor.
Okay.
Inmates do everything in here. We prepare the meals, we serve the meals, we clean up. Inmates here count. Inmates do the paperwork. Like inmates do everything here, but yet we treat it like anything. We don't even have any heat in here. You got buildings in here that don't have hot water, but yet they'll write you up for anything because they know that a lot of inmates in here trying to seek parole. And how Mississippi Department of Corrections is, one RVR can throw you off for however long they see fit, and officers use that to try to keep people in control.
Okay,
now,
so that's how my facility was when I worked. That's how my facility was, is that if you got even like 3 violations, that would set you back like 4 months. And, you know, if you kept getting violations, they'll take years from your life, just extending it. And so they held that over your head. And that was fucking horrible. Like the smallest things, like at my facility, if you were an inmate, you couldn't wear your hat, but a CO could wear your hat. Okay. And then if they caught you wearing a hat, they could just write you up on the spot. And that's like threatening months off your life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Easy. The fast track it'll be a few months. But yes, it could end up being a year set off, a year and a half, and like you say, that's time off your life. And given what's going on, time is of the essence.
Sorry, but let me go back to another thing you said. You were detailing, like, or not you specifically, but people are detailing and cleaning COs' cars at that facility.
Not just COs. I mean, like, okay. Any of you ever seen the Shawshank Redemption?
Yeah.
Okay, that scene where the warden is taking the kickback for the prison workers.
Yeah.
That's really going on. That happens.
That's so fucked.
We don't get anything, but like we can detail your car. We can honestly, you have like the right, if you have the right juice, the right rank, the right position, you can take a CO outside of the prison, say a green and white, a higher level custody. And yes, I've heard of inmates doing work on wardens, officials' houses. Yes.
Well, how do you feel about that? Like, how do they feel about that?
They do it because of the small perks, because you might be doing this for that, again, going back to Shawshank Redemption, that same apple pie. You might do that work all day like that, and they might give you that apple pie. You know, they realize that, you know, us being in here, a lot of us don't have those small things that make life worth living, I say. And they use that against us. Also, if you don't want to do it, guess what? They'll write you up, or they'll fire you, or they'll send you to another harsher prison. I mean, it's all type of ways. And a lot of people get the misconception that we make this up, you know what I'm saying, to drop. No, this is really going on. Again, you go all the way back to Christopher Epton, his scandal that was brought out. That was just the tip of the iceberg. And food for thought, if that's what they caught, imagine what's still going on.
Damn, dude. I mean, that's just fucking horrible, dude.
It is, and at the end of the day, a lot of people don't, we understand where we are, and we realize that we're not supposed, that it's prison. We are not supposed to be on a King California bed with the plush. We realize that. But if I could show you this rack they got me on right now with this rust all on it, I'm quite sure that y'all would, say that no, that's not balanced. That's not justice. That's inhumane.
No, at
I
one
would
of the
say whatever
facilities.
your definition is.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I interrupted you, dude. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just like, we don't have adequate air in here. We don't get adequate food, and like some people maybe seen pictures of trays in prison. Those are not that ain't no dramatization. That's really how they are. They throw everything together. Most times it's made by inmates, and there are no officers, no anybody in there with no type of system of checks and balances. I mean, if an inmate just got it in his head, what he wanted to poison the whole prison population, the prison I'm at, he could do that. He could do that. Now, true enough, he wouldn't get everybody, but he would get a lot of guys. He would get a lot of people because there's nobody in there to regulate. Hey, what are you doing over that food, or what are you putting in there? What are you doing over there?
Damn, dude. I
Prison
mean,
is a dangerous place, not necessarily because of population, but because
it's neglect.
there's no checks, there's no security here.
Yeah,
We have
it's neglect.
ourselves. And also from them, you have officers that they may take a notion to jump on you. Now you got to understand the cameras work both ways. They should be there to protect the officer and the inmate, and that's not the case. You have a lot of inmates down here have lawsuits, and a lot that don't because they're intimidated because they know that, okay, I don't have nobody out there to speak for me. I don't have nobody out there to call into here to make sure that I'm okay or whatnot. Because when these people realize that you don't, and they can find out pretty quick, because the small stuff, if they don't hear no fuss about it, they realize, oh, okay, they must don't, okay, and they go further with they, excuse my language, fuckery.
Dude, you can say whatever you want on this show, man. It's cool.
All right. They go further with it to the point to where now we in here, we have COVID running wild.
Yeah.
COVID running wild around here. We're just in here. We just mad animals in the rump. We're just in here. We're not getting adequate supplies. We're not getting cleaner supplies. We've been noticing from the onset 6 feet social distancing. I can stick my hand out and I could easily the next guy next to me. I sleep next to him. So how am I social distance? Even if I want to, again, my rack is next to this guy. And I say I don't have a yardstick, but I'd say maybe 3.5 feet from me, maybe.
Yeah.
But you have officers that physically assault inmates. That's another big problem that is kind of getting swept under the rug. A lot of these officers are abusive to these inmates, not just psychological, because it's a lot. We don't get visitations down here.
Okay.
They have had visitations down here for going on 2 years. They had them for like a month, but we haven't had visitation, and that does something to your mind. They don't understand. I mean, we cut somebody off from everything they love, all their. Eventually, yes, they're going to have adjusting problems. I'll say that. Not excuse, but that's anybody. That's a human.
You haven't seen anyone that you care about, no people on the outside, no loved ones for 2 years.
All not because they're not willing to come, because this facility hasn't been offering visitation for whatever reason. They call it lack of staff, but that's not the case. You have enough staff when this comes time to whoop on an inmate. There's plenty of staff then. They come out the woodwork then when it's time to whoop on an inmate, or restrain an inmate, as they say.
Damn, dude. That's
they
I mean, how do you cope? Like, how do you cope?
When I figure it out, I'll let you know. When I get a sure shot system of dealing with this, coping with this, I will let you know gladly. But we dealing with it day by day.
Yeah. I mean, so
day by day.
Do you see officers doing things that are like fucking corrupt? Like, do you see shit that's really fucked up? I know that we had a lot of COs at my facility fucking sell drugs to the inmates. We've seen them fucking exploit the inmates. We had a fucking FUM who sexually assaulted gay people.
I honestly, I haven't seen that. I have heard that from, I'll say, reliable sources. That yes, they have been done like that. And I honestly, I don't see why they had no reason to, lie about it, especially something like that. But yeah, we've heard tales and of things like that going on. But it's more specifically like what I've seen. Yes, I've seen inmates. I'm TP. I've seen inmates be armed by guards. I've seen guards bring weapons for inmates, bring weapons for other inmates, and sit back and play. And
Holy shit, are you serious?
Yes, I'm this serious. I'm dead serious. I've seen officers that have STDs to prison and infect as many inmates as they can because they know that okay, we're in here in human nature and use that against them.
Right.
That's happened more than once. Okay.
Oh my
And
gosh.
you have officers that come in, like I say, just physical abuse, the mental abuse. If you tell somebody that they're nothing every day, treat them like they're nothing every day. Whoever's listening to me, you might be, will not. If they do it enough, you're gonna start to at least act like it. You're gonna start to act in that manner. You're gonna start to believe it after so long. For some, it might take more, some might take less, but I guarantee you, every day.
Everyone's
And
got
a
their
lot of these
breaking
people
point,
here have
dog.
reached their limit. Yeah. And a lot of these guys have reached their limit with everything going on. Like, mind you, we already had a whole situation, whole movement going on before all this COVID. That movement has in no way improved. So we're still fighting it. But now we're dealing with the same COVID, same problems. I hear, people joke whatnot. Well, now I see what it feel like to be locked up. With all due respect, no, you don't. No,
No,
you
of
don't.
course
Not to
not,
paint
man.
the sad story, but no, you don't.
Of course
No
not.
way, in no way compares.
That's really
We have
fucking
nothing to
insulting to say that shit.
It is, but I try to, a lot of us taking the stride of being ignorant. You're not supposed to know what it's like to be like in prison. And honestly, without saying in the right sense, I hope you don't. I hope you don't know what it's like to be up in here. I honestly would not wish this on my worst enemy because this is too much. It's too much on the psychological, mental, and physical, spiritually. Like just the colors in here is designed to keep you down and sad. Like they paint the colors in prisons, some colors because it's been understood that so it's a lot. But officers in here, yeah, a lot of them are very corrupt. Some
Fuck,
just
man.
turn a blind eye. Some just do they shift or whatever, and they go on down. They get on down.
Do you
I've
have?
seen guys get beaten in front of officers, and they just turn a blind eye. Why? Because they don't feel like doing the paperwork. It's too close to it's too close. No, they don't feel like doing the paperwork. They're not for to stay over. If it ain't 10 minutes, I've seen like you had guys that have had went into diabetic seizures and shocks, and like officers just stood there. I've seen a guy when our K9 unit ran into the building, diabetic, somebody on file everything, diabetic. He was going into a diabetic shock on the floor. The inmate, the officer, being so zealous or whatever they is, or maybe just wanted to get a point across, he shot him with the beanbag shotgun on the floor.
Why?
As this guy's going to this day, we don't know why. Not being funny or anything, but we don't know why. And that man was actually having a seizure on that floor, and he was shot with a beanbag. And to this day, his folks don't even know it. He died maybe 2 years ago in prison.
Oh my god.
Complications of diabetes, but he shot on that floor, and I think right hand stand on the Bible that that man did that for nothing. But that's just one instance.
It's a power
This
thing,
stuff
dude.
happens all the time. Yeah. Yeah. And one thing about it, not to be funny or nothing, a cliche, but a lot of people come in here because they know that they have a certain amount of power.
Oh
They
no,
know they have
totally,
a certain
man.
amount, they can, and that's messed up in itself. But the problem is the fix of it. Because when you treat somebody like an animal so long, you can, most people, especially given our type of guys that are in here, they used to going off their whims. They haven't learned self-control. They haven't learned to think about the cause and effect. Still and all, even in prison. Sad but true. If you treat them like an animal, they're gonna act like one. And that's a part of the problem in here. A lot of people are like, well, look at him cream. I mean, but now if you go back to the early this year, a lot of those guys that were involved in that, they were forced to because they've been getting treated like an animal. They've been getting misused for years. Like a lot of these problems, none of these problems just started. I'm looking around in my environment right now. This building is literally falling apart. We got rods hanging all down out the ceiling. You got wires hanging out of the electric. A guy got shot the other day. Like literally. He literally got shot the other day. Just moving in, trying to clean his area up, brush the wire hanging out of his wall. All these buildings should be condemned.
Wait,
but
so
they
the
won't.
wire is directly
They
like
won't.
touching his shit.
But officers, they constantly, yeah, like if say one officer get into it or have words with another inmate. Now, the handbook says to give him RVR. which is rule violation report for whatever he did wrong or whatever, and that's that. No, to make us do their job. Meaning, nah, she's not gonna deal with that instance or that inmate in itself. She's gonna get on the intercom. Y'all better come get this up here before I get canine down here. Because they know that we have contraband and they use that against us. You allow us to get it in, you bring it in for us, and then you use it against us.
Right.
Y'all don't if y'all don't deal with that, then we're gonna get canine down here and we gonna all your stuff.
Right. So what I've always said was that law enforcement was just another gang. It was the biggest gang there is. And so that just, you know, the COs are the bigger gang in that facility, and they're going to fuck up your life if you guys don't fucking square your own away.
Yeah. Like, it's so much in here. Like, these officers, like, they don't too much do anything. Like, inmates, like I say, they prepare the meals, they cook the meals, they serve the meals, they clean up. Inmates, what little cleaning is done on his own, inmate does. What everything that you can think inmate does or either is hands-on with. With that said, they use us for everything, including to, you know, keep quote unquote law and order in here. A lot of guys, you know, like cell phones. That's all they have. That's the only way I can keep in contact with my family. You know, going back to that, and mind you, a lot of things that inmates do in here because they have to. I would rather pay $200 for this cell phone and talk to my family, talk to my children how I want, before I give that phone, before I pay that wall phone $200 and talk for 5 times for 15 minutes, which is probably an hour. I mean, it ain't nothing to sit up and debate about. It's nothing to compare. It ain't. I mean, you gotta keep in mind we're criminals anyway. I mean, just let's put it all on the table. We're criminals anyway. So you tell me that I'm gonna choose between putting $200 on this payphone that's only gonna allow me to talk for say 60 minutes at best, and everything I say is gonna be recorded, and I can only call so many numbers. Or am I gonna pay this $200 and get this cellular phone that this officer just bought for me? Not a hard decision. Not hard to see. Then the same officer turn around and come back and get this cell phone from me and sell it to somebody else in another building for another $200. The $30 phone that she got out of Family Dollar or whatever, sell it to me for $300, $400, $500. Take it, sell it to another guy, $300, $400, $500. So and so. You know?
And if you don't give it back, she'll fuck your life up.
Oh yes, that's a hard RV there, and that will stop your parole. And they know this, and they know all this. So they use everything against us. It's a big catch-22 because it's very hard the way prison's set up to do your time as a model inmate. There's no way that I can survive off these 3 trades. There's no way possible. There's no way possible that I can just, you know, abide by and still live. And still survive and still function. It's that hard. They have the rules set up to where it's that hard. I can't abide by them even if I wanted to. I couldn't. Because to do that okay, case in point example, no inmate should give or sell anything of value, which means that if I'm hungry, my fellow inmate right here, by their rules, he can't give me anything to eat. He can't, according to the rule book. If he had a extra ramen noodle, according to the rules, he can't loan it to me. He can't give it to me. Man, you hungry, man, eat that. According to the rule book, hey, I can't take that. Really? Really?
Oh yeah, and they enforce that one too.
Again, on the stack of Bibles, I gladly break that rule.
They enforce it too. I had fucking sergeants, I had lieutenants tell me to take people's shit, man.
Yes.
Just because they want to fucking share.
Yeah. But I bought it. And yes, because you don't see me sharing it, that doesn't mean I don't share. Or whatever the case is. But yeah, they have so many rules in place, like it's really a trap. Like I say, they haven't had visitation down there for like 2 years. So I have no choice but to try to get on somebody's phone or use a FaceTime just to see my family, just to see, say, my children, for example. But that's the situation we've been put in. Like I say, a lot of these guys here just want to do their time and go home, man. But they can't. Because according to doing time how MDOC says we should, there's no way that they can function. A lot of these guys would not survive literally. Like a lot of these guys are starved to death. Like they were starved to death. Just case in point, we need dial soap in here. We need antibacterial. We need germ cleaning products in here. They don't give us any of that. Don't give us any of that. But I can probably get with an officer and get her to bring me some bleach in here.
Right.
You know?
Right. Fuck, man.
It'd be that much easier just to do that. It'd be worlds easier. But as opposed to going through the administration, hey, warden, we need some bleach down here to clean these walls and clean our bed areas and all that, Man, it'd be just easy for me to holler at this officer and give her and slide her something, but just bring her some bleach in here. But according to the MBOC, that's breaking the rules. Like I say, we have to break rules just to survive. It ain't all about just trying to be comfortable, trying to be, live a certain, image or whatever. It done got to the point, and this year here especially broke us down to the point where we have to do these things just to survive, man. And that's no exaggeration, and that's no lie. If anybody hearing my voice, if you have somebody locked up, you know I'm not lying, because I'm quite. If you talk to them and deal with them, I know you hear the same thing from them.
Yeah, fuck
all
yeah,
us
dude.
not gonna get together.
I mean, I've seen it,
all
man.
us not gonna get together and come up with this big ass black conspiracy against the administration, against the Mississippi Department of Corrections.
I've seen
It's just
it,
not
dude.
gonna happen. You can never get these many people on the same accord. I assure you, for nothing. It got to be the truth. There got to be some truth in there. I stand on that. There got to be at least some truth in there.
Yeah, do what you gotta do to live, man.
Yeah, we have to live in here because guys are dying and they're covering it up. They're making it like I mean, a lot of guys died here. A lot of inmates have died from COVID and COVID complications. That's beforehand. You had guys just dying in here. The spice that these officers bring in here, man, it kills these guys. It kills them dead.
Oh, fucking K2?
They kill them dead. Yes, sir.
Oh, fuck, dude.
K2, they're what they call ice. Like it's bad.
I've seen some spice damn near fucking kill people, dude. It's fucking horrible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it's to the point to where this prison system is so corrupt that where I honestly don't think it can be. I don't think it can be corrected. I don't.
That's why you're here, dude.
Am I one of them people to say that people shouldn't be disciplined, people shouldn't be punished? No, because of the family. At the end of the day, I do know right from wrong. Believe it or not. And yes, rules are in place for a reason. We have boundaries for a reason. We have laws for a reason, no doubt. True and good and all. But at the same time, this is not rehabilitating anyone. There's no education in here. There's no room for growth in here. All we are is just a bunch of turds sitting in a toilet.
Fuck, dude.
I hate to be blunt like that, but that's
no, it's fine, man.
These prisons are nothing but giant toilets with turds in them. Because nothing good's coming out of it. Nothing good's going in. They're not helping us. They're not teaching us anything. These officers, these staff members, they're getting money off these classes. They're not teaching anything. There's not a class that MDOC office that I haven't been in, I've participated in. Not just because I want to get certificates, because I like to learn, believe it or not. I'm one of those types. And it's more in here like that. And they want to do something constructive with their time. They don't want to just sitting up on their bed on their rack all day on the zone or whatever. They want to try to rehabilitate because they're looking at outdoors and they're thinking about tomorrow. And they want to be prepared for that. But no, there's no rehabilitation in here. There guys in here that passed the GED class, but they couldn't read to you a simple third grade literary book. They passed the GED all right, but the education level is not a part, nowhere near. And a lot of these guys are getting turned right back into the street with no sense of direction, no growth, no anything. And if you put me right back in the same place I am, only thing prison is doing is teaching guys how to be better criminals, or at least not to get caught right away. It's the only thing prison teaching is turning out better criminals, smarter criminals that know how to manipulate these new laws or whatnot. That's all. But no one's coming out with very few are coming out truly rehabilitated. And those that are, they do it themselves. You have to do it yourself. And yes, true enough, it starts with self. But you're going to need some help. You're going to need some type of new environment. You're going to need to be put in an environment where you don't have to walk around with knives all day, where you don't feel like everybody in here is going to put a knife in your neck or anything. No, it's kind of hard to worry about tomorrow when you're trying to figure out how you're going to live through the next 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's horrible.
And prisons got so much, like I say, they're not giving us no avenue to change. A lot of these guys here, most of these guys here are doing the same thing that brought them in here. Be it selling dope, be it being a knucklehead, whatever the case is. Most of these guys come to prison and do the exact same thing. That's why a good 85-90% of guys come right back. Because I never stopped doing it. In prison, I never stopped doing it. And be as it may, prison is failing a lot of these guys. And these officers, these officials, they just sitting back getting money off of these classes. They just sit back reaping the benefits. They're not teaching anything.
So I gotta
And at
ask,
the
man.
same time,
I gotta ask. So one of the things that fucking radicalized me, that made me fucking turn against the prison system, I quit my job. I fucking denounced it, like everything. I was I didn't think that any of the child molesters, the chomos, the fucking pedos, none of the chomos got fucking justice, man. They're protected. I mean, how are chomos at your facility?
same as at the one you work. Same as at the one you work. It's crazy how that is in here, but yes, you true, and that's exactly what's going on.
I mean, fuck, man. Like, these are the fucking, they're the worst fucking scum. Like, what? How come? Like, what's stopping you guys from getting at them?
To the wolves too. To the wolves too.
I mean, that's one of the things that fucking it totally it destroyed my faith in government. Chomo's not getting what's coming to them, and like the guys who fucking go after them, they get the worst punishments.
Oddly enough, yes. And it's like, true enough, nobody's no judge, and nobody's ended up singing too loud in no church choir. Where I'm coming from. But in prison, in most prisons, and this is what I can speak on, it's some things that, yeah, you look down on for, what you do, and it reflects on you. And guys treat you a certain way, and yeah, depending on what you're in here for, what you do in here, how you move in here. Yeah, you have guys that, try to, how I put this, or try to get at you. Yeah. Especially for guys you're speaking on. Yeah, they are protected so much. They have a hotline. They can go to the phone and call a 4-digit. They only push 4 digits. And say, hey, somebody's in here messing with me.
Chomos do?
And that's cool. Yeah, that's cool and respected. At the same time, what about no one called on you? No one had a line to call for you.
Yeah.
But prison, this prison, I can speak with an expert tone on this prison because I'm here. We don't have adequate medical attention. You have nurses that I don't care. But that's what they pay you for, to see about me. I mean, you took a Hippocratic oath, nurse. I don't care, because this prison will corrupt anybody. Even some of the best doctors and best nurses in the world that I'm dedicated to their job, dedicated to helping to serve and healing. They come in here and they see how the officers are. They see how the officials are. They don't care. And that nonchalant, that I don't care, I don't give a damn, I don't give a fuck attitude, it spreads. It spreads. And they fall into it. And before you know it, nobody gives a damn. And before you know it, you have an entire system of guys that are sick, dying, guys that been suffering with ailments, injuries, you know what I'm saying, broken bones. They had the men back wrong for years. And they're suffering the effects of them right now. And that makes you bitter. That makes you jaded, more so than you already were coming into the system for whatever reason. But if you are at peace with your time, with your sentence, you did okay, whatever, cool. And you come in here with the mindset, I'm going to do my time and I'm going to go home. You can't do that in here. Because if it's not for the officers with the things they do and the situations they put us in, like I say, officers with you're subject to be injured more by officers than an inmate. Just to give you an idea of the type of system that I know the Mississippi Department of Corrections is. I got a better chance to get injured by an officer than I do an inmate any day. And it's one officer in this building right now. It's 200 inmates. So do the ratio on that. It's just these officers and their lack of attention, their lack of dedication to their job. Like they so short of staff, claim, that they'll hire anybody. Anybody listen to my voice right now, you can go on the website, and if you don't have a felony, and they've had felonies working here to sit through, and you can fill out, and you can come in here and you can be working within a month. No training on how to deal with inmates, no training on how to deal with people, period. No one's even giving you a psychological evaluation. And I'm one of the firm believers that you should be evaluated coming in. Everybody should not work in prison. It's not for the faint of heart, and it's not for everybody, because it's definitely a hands-on job. And a lot of people have a misconception that they just, you just sit up and just, but the misconception is true. Because you do just come here and just prop your feet up and let inmate do everything. And that makes them to the point where they don't care. Let the inmate handle it. Let such handle it. And that's not right, because that's not his job. His job to do his time, my job to do my time. Your job, if need be, is to make sure I need medical attention, to make sure that we get our trays on time, to make sure that our trays are there properly. And no one's doing that. It's somebody's job to make sure that we're offer classes to help us be better fathers, to be better husbands, to be better people, to work on our anger management, to work on our drug addictions. No one's doing that. We're just sitting here indulging. All the drugs you want are in here.
So can I ask you something personal?
Sure.
Do you consider yourself or your friends institutionalized? Like, could you, what if your release date was tomorrow and you've had all this time in, you served a full sentence, could you make it? Like, legitimate.
See, this is the thing. If I haven't taken the time to sit up and learn better ways to make money or better ways to take care of myself and supplement myself, then no, I'm gonna go right back out there and do the same thing, the exact same thing, but and still, you still have effects because this place in here, it'll damage you. It'll mess you up psychologically if you're able, because you see a lot of violence in here. You see a lot of violence in here. You see a lot of misjustice, and it'll numb you to it, to the point to where if you're not strong enough, if you don't keep your own moral compass in line, it's gonna have you to where, okay, whatever's clever. Whatever's clever. Saying that to say, to answer your question, if I were to get out right now, I could make it, but would I still be suffering some of the effects of being here? Yes, very much so, very much so. So I guess in a nutshell, you could say I'm institutionalized, and yeah, I think the guys around me, my counterparts here, they'll say the same thing. Some of us would probably be able to function, quote unquote, but as far as being able to be just productive,
yeah,
fully mind, body, soul, being productive, no, I don't think anybody comes out of here like that. But I'm just looking at the process of what they call rehabilitation. No, it doesn't work. Yeah. So no, I can get out right now. Yeah, I still be suffering from the effects of being in here, no doubt. Yeah.
Do your friends want to say anything before we sign off here?
I don't think so. I got a couple guys around me, and they listen and they nodding their heads, but you can understand it. No, not too many people, not too many guys, want to get on here. But now at the same time, understand me when I tell you that there's guys around me and they listen. A couple guys nodding their heads, a couple guys, they would tell me like, hey, don't forget they.
Yeah.
I think that's about it.
I understand.
But understand
you're taking. I
really appreciate it. Aware of what I'm doing, and they are in agreement. We are in agreement.
I thank you guys a lot, very much. Do you have anything else to say to the listeners before we sign off? You specifically?
I will say that if y'all have somebody in here that's incarcerated, regardless of what they did, what type of, well, I can't just speak because I realize that some people did some things that can't be forgiven. But if you are on some type of, you do have some type of connection with somebody that you love in here, or if you don't have any connection at all, reach out to them. Call them. Write them. Get in touch with them. Send them a card or something. I don't care what they tell you. They need something in here. So you don't have to ask, well, do you need anything? Yes. I can answer that question for you. An emphatic yes. They do need something. They're not giving us everything we need in here. They're not even feeding us adequately on the trays. Whoever your family is, I can damn near guarantee you, they're hungry. They can use some supplies. If nothing else, they can use a hello from. It might sound funny or whatever, cliche. You might don't look at, well, he's so big and bad and all that, but no. The things that they're going through in here right now, yeah, they can stand and know that somebody thinking about them, somebody care, if nothing else. Probably ain't even about them, but know that they need to hear from you. And thank y'all for listening.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming on. Hey, you take it easy, dude, and fucking keep your head up, all right?
We ain't got no choice, bro.